12:25 p.m. this Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Let's go ahead and expose some false narratives that's being presented through the media today. Here in Michigan, especially in my county and surrounding counties, supposedly today, without proof of any wildfire smoke being shown through our local media, through Kalamazoo, because that's the broadcasting channel that I tuned into today, we are under an air quality alert day. And they're trying to state that, it's because of so much wildfire smoke in the sky. Whereas throughout these morning hours today, it has been non-stop chemtrailing that's been taking place. Okay? And yes, this is the result of chemtrailing and not so-called natural clouds. Yeah, I'm doing a sky observation. Okay, another false narrative pertaining to Donald Trump's narratives and how it's affecting school supplies, where pencils and notebooks and paper and all that is getting more expensive. False narrative, as they're just trying to do away with such supplies in order to incorporate more of this nonsense called artificial intelligence into the classroom. Okay? You cannot trust nor put faith into any narratives today, especially through mainstream media and their meteorologists and reporters, journalists, because basically it's all scripted, as we should realize and should have realized for many years now. After all, look at all the false narratives and misinformation and disinformation over COVID and the vaccines, which they're still having a stink about people speaking on these topics and matters. This thing is bloody hot, but yet we are very cool today. They have been spraying the skies and claiming wildfire smoke is the cause of this air quality alert. I see no evidences of smoke. I see evidences of chemtrailing, or whatever you want to call it today. If anybody is actually willing to do so, go back to the very beginning of my channel's videos and look at the sky and compare it to my recent videos of late of my sky observations. No, I don't provide false narratives, and I'm still being attacked over narratives that I bring to the table, my narratives. Understand this, people. If you believe in what I bring to the table in regards to our sky and the fakery of our weather and all that good stuff, and if you have issues in the narratives that's being brought forth by politicians, regardless of what side that they're on, then you might also want to take in the narratives over religion You cannot be biased anymore. It's either you believe or you don't believe. And with so much fraud, fakery, misinformation, and disinformation, and through what I have shared in regards to religion, understand man-made religion was created for specific purposes. Do we live on a planet out in space, a spherical planet? Or do we live upon a flat earth? Because once again, you go back to your Bible, and it says that God created us in their image. Who is they? And don't come at me with the Trinity nonsense if you want to comment. If you believe that the skies overhead is encapsulated under a glass dome, and that this is an artificial light, and that the moon is a hologram, and yada yada yada, then you have to understand that it involves mechanics. The movement of everything. If the stars are nothing more than a hologram, then it's a screen, right? And a revolving screen. So if you believe in that, there has to be mechanisms, gears, that provides the movement. So if that is the case, then that is a construct of artificial intelligence, and not that of an organic God. Okay? So much delusion out there, it is unfathomable today. Keep playing into all this artificial intelligence, and you were hotwiring yourself as being artificial as well. And therefore you are nothing more than an avatar. And therefore I guess you might as well be living in a matrix, a simulation. I cut myself, I bleed. To me, that's not artificial. Our food is becoming artificial. Our skies are definitely becoming artificial if they have not always been so. Now I want to once again bring up programming. Programming that I have been subjected to since early on in life. A child's show about a family that falls into a Jurassic Park age. Land of the Lost. And what do they show within that series? Not only dinosaurs, but Sleestaks, reptilians. And what do they show up in the sky? That controls the weather. But these glowing, diamond-shaped crafts, or cursors, if you will. And we have more and more talk of aliens that's kicking off. And, well, let's go ahead and just, I'm just providing more stuff to think about. Now let's go ahead and go back to the mainstream media today. Oh, we have all these planes that are crashing. Now we're having this argumentation kicking off over this Black Hawk helicopter, which all Black Hawk helicopters seem to crash, right? And, well, I would never board an aircraft today unless forced. And then you have to go into this real ID in order to board an aircraft. And as far as I'm concerned, what good is your ID today? How real is it? Especially when compared to if you should get pulled over by law enforcement for driving too fast or under the influence or, so on and so forth. You have to show your ID. What do they show you in the form of ID? Oh, a badge with a number on it and a nameplate. First initial, last name. How real is that ID? Can they buy tobacco or alcohol with it? Oh, and now, we got a law out there that's, well, it's okay for cops to murder people under law, right? They're getting away with it nonstop. So what do we have kicking off today? Well, mainstream media is once again throwing all this at people about shootings, stabbings, riots. Once again, right? Where's that leading? More control, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's getting very difficult today to believe in any narratives. Pro or con, doesn't matter. Because all they're doing is creating more and more chaos and confusion. Oh, but that's okay because AI. Oh, like Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, now you can have your own personal supercomputer. Uh-huh. If you are not awake yet, wake up. Smell the stink in the air. Because it's getting that much worse. And it's not wildfire smoke. Well, let's go on with just a little bit more. I don't get phone calls anymore. I don't get text messaging. And gee, I don't get comments pertaining to my content anymore. Yeah, I'm being shadow banned and blocked because why? I am bringing too much reality to the table through my content. But 4:30 this morning, while I was still sleeping, I had a text message come through. I have yet to report it as being spam or otherwise, but, well, I did have to go to Reddit to check out this text, which basically appeared like something that was copied and pasted and all that, stating that I won $1 million through Oracle. I went ahead and did a bit of research into this foundation, non-profit foundation. And what's strange is this foundation deals with the group that goes around to schools promoting business ideas and business techniques, which is known as junior achievement. Back when I was in school, for 3 years I involved myself in that program to where we made products. We went around knocking door to door, asking for investments, 10 cents on the dollar that customers could receive back. Yeah. Well, I became president of our junior achievement group during my 3rd year. I'll just go ahead and leave that at that. Will I claim or try to claim $1 million through a text message that has that option to report it as spam? Currently, I'm getting better TV reception than what I am phone signal or internet connection. Again, all right, I think that's good enough. Oh, and just as an update, the kitten that I called Snowman, I've had to change the name to Snowball, and now she comes to me. All I have to do is call to her. Much like all I have to do is call out to other animals, and they come to me once I name them. Yeah, I'm sticking to my narratives because my narratives are through observations and the explanations that I bring forth. And once again, nobody proves me wrong. No, I'm not gloating. I'm just stating fact. And it's factual enough through my content and the history of this channel, of the efforts to silence me. It's not working very well because all it's doing is forcing me back to the table to expose that much more. How's that grab you? Yeah, I'm out here breathing deep today. And I don't smell no smoke. Yeah. I believe in what I see, what I observe, and through my observations, a little bit of research. And I'd love to be able to discuss the factor of child porn on the internet and who actually brought that out. Yeah, I was exposed to it back when web TV was the thing. And you have to understand who web TV, the main search engine, was at that time. Because they were the ones that first came out and said, oh, well, we have to do something about this situation, this issue. And then Google teamed up with them. And if you know the history of Google and who was behind the origin of it, and not the false narratives that we have been told, then you might know that much more. Yep. Computer companies, they are the blame for all of our issues and problems today. And now they're going to be the blame for all the issues in the future in regards to technology and what it's going to do. You know, oh, tariffs. We're losing jobs out there now because of these tariffs. No, no. We're losing jobs because of AI. It's already replacing a lot of employment and employment positions. Once again, exposing another false narrative that they are pushing. I'm going to leave it at that because I am highly disgusted at myself for actually being hypocritical and going against my word, as I am providing more sky observations, but for a purpose and a reason. And maybe you'll understand those reasons and purposes. And going back to this debate over flat earth and spherical earth, just like I put in a reply, this has been a debate that's been going on for a few thousand years. And yet we have proof of neither. Why? Because we're not allowed up there, just like we're not allowed to go to Antarctica. Oh no, only the privileged get to go up there. And then it's those so-called privileged ones that make a mockery and a fakery through going up only so far and dropping down, and it's through that drop that they get to experience a few seconds of so-called lack of gravity. And they smile in the camera and show a pretty little flower. And then we got these, all these ads on YouTube, to where more time is spent now viewing ads than actual channel content. And what do we see? Celebrities pushing pink salt nonsense and all these different weight loss false narratives. I've lost over 60 pounds because I got away from the artificial stuff. I have increased my intelligence by staying away from the artificial nonsense being pervaded on a constant basis. Again, how's that grab you? Will you even see this today? Will this platform allow views and or comments? So it's 1:05 p.m. and yeah, I'm out here just hanging out, and I was reviewing well, if you want, go ahead. I was reviewing my previous recording and old King was just casually sitting here listening to my recording as I was viewing it. Pretty cool. And I have to state that all these cats, and through my feeding, man, they've got some beautiful coats to them now. I mean, just absolutely lustrous, if you will. I guess it's like that old milk model, does the body good? Well, my cooking seems to have quite the effect on this wildlife that I interact with. But speaking of interacting, or interactions, My oh my. For all those that I used to socialize with around here, nobody wants to talk to me anymore. In fact, when my presence is outside of the little box that I reside within, boy, people scamper. Man, you ought to hear the footsteps, and blam, the door is shut. Guilt complexes up, I guess. Yep. It's what happens when this guy begins to expose. Even though I have not and decided not to expose certain recordings that I have compiled, one of which I did post but deleted. Why? Because this artificial intelligence is shadow banning me, unless of course I am publishing positive things, such as I've been, forced into doing through other channels, my comments posted, to where I am praising certain things through their content. And boy, that certainly seemed to get, the feedback to come through real quick. And I get both likes and hearts for my comments. A very biased artificial programming. If you speak positive and optimistic and pro rather than con, results come through so much quicker. Yeah. And well, I have attempted to disable Google's AI through the options of my settings, as well as Google Assistant. Well, Google Assistant is shut off, which is kind of strange. But every time that I go ahead and try to do a Google search, it kicks that AI back in, and the top result is through Google's AI. But yeah, I thought that was part of Google Assistant. So, yeah, I've already explained that old Wolf here will never be a replacement for Spirit, but he has been vying for my attention quite a lot today. Haven't you? Huh? Yeah. He upsets me. Ooh. Uh-oh. What's going on? What's going on? Cat fight. You gonna go investigate? He says, heck no. Not unless it's me. Well, once again, I'm being very hypocritical, and it really irks me severely that I'm once again posting sky observations and nature content. But you know what? Well, what else have I got to focus upon as I am sharing my narratives and opinionated viewpoints? Oh, the more the merrier. Go ahead. I'll put more up there. Okay? Yeah, it's gonna make for a long video. Oh boy, they're all coming up. Yeah, I gotta love it. Right, buddies? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to put out some more. Yeah, I'm being over generous today. Why? Because, well, we had a lot of manufactured precipitation that these animals had to endure last night. Well, from, I just broke that one off. Oh well. Yeah, throughout late afternoon, evening hours. And once again, you know, beginning around that 4 o'clock hour time slot, that seems to be part of the regular pattern today. Yeah. And apparently, I'm not sure exactly what transpired, but, you know, typically I come out here and, you know, the cats come up from everywhere. And that's not the case today. Wolf is the only one that's up here at the time. And I'm not seeing any of the cats lying in the weeds, in the light, you know, for warmth. I had quite a few of them up here this morning. So I'm not sure, you know, if something happened that spooked them all away. I would not doubt it. We do have some type of construction kicking off in the background. You might be able to hear that. Once again, you know, the modernization of this area through the layout of fiber optic communication lines, which is not for the benefit of us, let's just say. And yeah, if you, you know, you might want to visit my community postings. I've got new ones over there, just exposing that much more of the issues and complications that I've been experiencing through this lovely technology of today. I'm out here currently connecting with the ground. Unfortunately, I have to connect with you through technology. Otherwise, with all things considered, it's a very pleasant day out here. And yeah, it's nice to get away from the humming of the air conditioner and the drone of the fans. Now you might understand where drones got their names. Hey, black butterfly, black butterfly. Did I capture it? Oh, finally. Maybe. But of course, you know, come out here and I gotta put up with, you know, the noise of the environment around me. Maybe one day I'll be able to get into a location to where that is basically non-existent, and I can spend more time in an environment such as this, connecting more with nature and so-called natural surroundings of the environment rather than this artificialness through technology. And technological devices. I'm a Gemini, you know. I got, you know, both ends of the spectrums of polarity. And this is why, you know, I can bring forth both optimism and pessimism. It's because I am very well indoctrinated within both ends of the spectrum, so to speak. So I have, like a minute and a half, if even that, long video that I provided the link over to my other channel. You realize how long it took me to upload that very, very, very short video. Man, talk about pathetic. I'm glad that I'm a very patient person. Very glad indeed. Oh, and I would like to make a correction through my narration and narrative, my previous recording, to where I spoke of Trump's narratives. No, I meant to state tariffs. Okay, so I might have screwed up, but I meant tariffs. I'll leave it at that. And speaking of the content over on my other channel, let's go ahead and just revisit the time of Bill Clinton as he was in office and his signing of a law against cloning. Now remember, that only pertained to down here on Earth, not up there. It did not pertain to the International Space Station or otherwise. And with a couple of astronauts and their return, and to where the female astronaut was all upset because of the changes in her body structure. I'll leave it at that. And just one last thing that I'd like to make mention of is, you know, in over 2.5 years that I have been coming out here and doing my caregiving bit, there's been no issues up until recently. And of course, it was intentionally orchestrated. Okay? Well, I don't think there's going to be any other issues while I'm still continuing to do this. Of course, this is just opinionated thought process at the moment. Yeah. And, you know, once again, had people not gotten all pissyfied over my content and started making their little narratives, the issues of recent probably would have never occurred. My subscriber count has not been affected. Yeah, I don't like doing this, but I'm sorry, Screamer. I gotta walk by. Hold on, hold on. Got some more here, okay? Yeah, these are a couple. There you go. There are a couple of cats that are still quite timid, but that's okay. I'd rather have them be that way and stay leery of humans, per se. And just for further explanation as far as the kitten that I now call Snowball, the reason being is because as she plays, she likes to roll and do somersaults, and it kind of reminds me of a snowball. Oh, something else I guess I can go ahead and relay. All my time that I spend out here, and have spent out here throughout this spring and summer and now fall season, I've had very few ticks on me. I think I've been bitten by 2 ticks. And just, 2 days ago, I actually got my first mosquito bite. Yeah. And going back to butterflies, once again, I have seen more butterflies this year than what I've experienced in many years of late. Just another observation. Well, I believe that I have done enough grounding at this given point in time. I don't really want to go back inside, but I'll be back out here in a few short hours. Shorter hours than what it will take for me to post this video, as it will take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours more than likely. Once again, that's just opinionated thoughts through multiple observations. Yeah. Well, I didn't even realize, but yeah, okay, so there's the blue jay, and now that I spotted it, it'd been sitting up here the whole time. There we go. King, is that you? Or, yeah. Okay. Well, that's talking to me. Coming on down. Go ahead, King. If that's you. Oh. Sounds like I got a cat behind me, too. Now, of course, it's not going to be a very good visual. Yeah. I just love how these guys can grab right hold of the side of the tree and cling on. And now all of a sudden these guys are coming back up. But anyways, yeah, so that one had been perched up in the tree listening to me as I have been carrying on with my little narrations. Yeah, buddy. And there, yeah, and well, that right there is just more evidence, if you will, of them speaking to me. And the cats are getting more vocal as well. And I will miss this. You know, when I eventually move. But it's not to say that, I can't bring all this about once again, because this has been the case throughout my life. And I want it just that much more. It is basically the only thing that I enjoy anymore. And the more that I talk, the more these guys talk. But I gotta get away from these irritating, disgusting sounds in the background. A lot going on. So, on that note, I guess I will go ahead and end this. And wait, and wait, and wait to see if this will post, because I get so much buffering anymore. To where, well, once again, if you go to my community posting, you might see a review that I did through my phone service provider, Straight Talk Wireless, which of course is owned and operated by Verizon. I attempted to contact Straight Talk earlier, and it just kept buffering and buffering, and now they're, you know, it's everything's being taken over through use of AI. And my experience is, it is just getting worse and worse and worse. But that's okay. That's why I come out here for my therapy. And that is why I've gotten so adamant with the interruptions, the intentional interruptions through instigation. And you know, unfortunately, it's always of the female persuasion. Female involvement. And look at all the females that are through the media today. All the females, I mean, if you watch Asmongold, whatever, his channel, which he just made national news. Oh, he just put up a good one that I had to comment on, pertaining to these women spouting off about child support and all that. And oh, I guess my battery's dying. All right, good enough. See y'all later. That's my cue. Hey, I still love women, even though, you know, they do me wrong constantly, and have done so throughout my life. And I've been single since 2012. Maybe that'll change one day. Take care. You know what? Male or female out there, much love to one and all. Universal love and much enlightenment. Take care. Just real quick. I heard my buddy Rusty been chitter-chattering at me. Right, buddy? Well, come on over. Just what? Yeah. Yeah, hi. How you doing? You wanting some of this too? Huh? You want to try some of this? He is so cool looking. I could throw some over there. Oh, yeah, you see the cats, don't you? Hang on, I'll toss some over. Alright, so I just tossed some of my cakes over there. I don't know if squirrels will enjoy or not because they are tuna fish pancakes with cheese. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, uh-oh, he's on a loose branch. Don't fall, buddy. I'm not sure if I'm getting... Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, he's back up here. Okay. Maybe yeah. Maybe I'll go ahead and put some of these cakes. Yeah, okay, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. Hi, Rusty. What are you? Oh, hi there. Hi, buddy. Hi. Are you coming right up? Yes, you are. Yeah, hi. Are you wanting some of this? Hold on. Yep. Oh, well, if you do so desires to try it out, awesome. But there we go, people. Just that much more proof in the pudding of who and what I am when it comes down to nature and my interactions with animal life. Damn, I love it. I love these animals.